Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Adam. I'm here with the Use.
What's up, guys?
And if you can do one thing for Christmas, please hit that subscribe button, like our video, let us know in the thoughts what you thought about this Elche 3-2 victory at the Camp Nou. I mean, it showcased everything right and wrong with Barca, right? We have young players like Gavi and Abde looking wonderful.
Sure.
We have an overall Xavi has influenced his team offensively to have more runs, and you see more fluidity with the ball and how we're getting it forward. With some issues putting away chances, no doubt. Mm-hmm. And then on the other end, you just see that our defense is still in shambles as it was under Koeman. And it really leaves you thinking, how much of it and the defense being poor over the last 6 to 12 months can be put onto Koeman and or Xavi, or how much is on the players. And after you see, Araujo making some mistakes, Erica Garcia being slow, Lenglet having issues when Elche scored those 2 goals in the 61st and 63rd minute, you realize it might be the players. But Yus, why don't we go through the starting lineup and discuss, how the team lined up and then how the game kind of flowed from there.
Sure. So we had Ter Stegen in the net, of course, then Lenglet left, Garcia in the middle, Araujo on the right. Then in the midfield, we had Alba, Gavi, Busquets, De Jong. And in the attacking front, Abdi on the left, Jutgla, which is a new young player coming out under Xavi. And on the right side, Dembele, who, I was happy to see he wasn't injured this time because I know...
Yeah, he pulled up with it looked like a hamstring thing, issue.
But typical Dembele in this case.
But he's healthy, which is good, right?
Yeah.
And I think the most interesting thing about that lineup, and, sometimes the way the who score ESPN put the lineups not entirely correct. There was something weird going on in this game with Jordi Alba that I was a little bit perplexed by. You definitely saw Abdi on the front left, but then you saw Alba kind of in a more interior, almost midfield role this game, which I thought stifled our offense a little bit. But other than that, I mean, Ter Stegen, again, you say, of course, he's in the net. We really need to start wondering if that, of course, should be there because he's continued with the game today to just put, not stop shots that we think he should. And then, I look at that lineup and I was thinking, okay, we have Araujo again as the rightmost back in this, back three. And we've been talking, or as a right back, depending on how the formation plays out. And we've been talking about in the last few episodes how that hasn't really worked. And I think, again, we saw Araujo was a liability in that spot. And then he is faster than Garcia and Lenglet, and so I think we would have done better to have him in, the more central part of the defense. But then up front, again, I'm excited, right? Jutgla, as you said, is a new striker who's come up from the B team who I think can have some, great success. He scored a goal today. He looked good against Boca Juniors in the midweek friendly we had. And then, you see a striker surrounded by Dembele and Abdi on the wings. It is the type of front three I want to see, and I hope Barca do well with. Of course, we don't have Depay right now. He's injured and might be out until the, new year. So what did you think about the lineup, Hughes?
I was excited because, in the front, at least, it seemed like very young players. I'm really excited to see Abdi come out a lot. And with Dembele on the other wing, I think that is creating a lot of opportunities for us. And we are seeing that today in this game against Elche. But then, you have also, like you were saying, Araujo on the right side. But I just don't like Eric Garcia very much. I don't think he's very good. And so, I don't think he should be a starter. One, he's very physical. He attempts to be physical, but I think he's just too weak and too slow to really secure and lock down that middle. And then, on Lenglet, on the other hand, he's been in and out. I don't think anything particularly great with his performance.
He got burned, right? On that. Yeah. The first goal Elche scored, he didn't know where the attacker was going to go. He kind of deked him out to go inside, and then Lenglet stumbled, and that's how he got away that free shot that Ter Stegen barely couldn't handle. And I think the funny part is we talk about the lineup and we're not talking about Frenkie de Jong, right? Which again he had in this game continued his just disappearing in a lot of big moments and big games where a player of de Jong's stature and someone that people want to say is one of the best midfielders in the world, he should be showing up in a game like today against Elche, and he really didn't. It is interesting to see how Xavi is using Frenkie because you see him going more forward than he did under
more offensively.
Koeman, and making more runs in the box, which I think we saw February, January of this year that he can score some goals if we put him in the right spot. But again, it's still not just clicking, and this kind of goes back to what Xavi said midweek when he was saying, hey, I have the players and they understand on a basic level what we're trying to do, but there's still just some apprehension and lack of learning in terms of how Xavi wants this team to play. And you see that all around that, second half, because we definitely as has been a narrative this whole Xavi reign, right? We have a good first 20 to 45 minutes, and then we slow down. And then the other team comes back. And, as Barca fans, we just have gotten so used to this. We have a goal or 2-goal lead. We let up one, and then the feeling of doom just sets in. And it's like, oh, my God, of course they're going to score again. When they scored that second goal a minute after the first one, Yus and I just started laughing because it was so typical of how we've been playing defensively lately. But just, again, it's so baffling that we can continue to let up these goals after goals when we have a lead.
But hold on. Let's not get too negative here, because there were some great things in this game, and I totally don't want to overshadow it. But at the same time, you're right? We kind of expect that this lead, that 2-0 lead that we had against one of the worst teams in La Liga right now, only 3 wins, that we should be able to walk through it because we are Barcelona. But that didn't happen. But the highlights here is, Jutgla comes in as a starter and
scores a header.
He scores a header, but he also had several attempts that just looked beautiful. When the first one offsides, he was able to finish that. I see a lot of players not even be able to finish that kind of shot. But then on top of that, we have a lot of more interplay with the young players.
What I loved, man, was Dembele. In that
For
first
sure.
half,
Very
he was making so many great passes to try and get, Jutgla, Abde, Frankie, out and behind the defense, and he was connecting with just some beautiful through balls. And then on that third goal, when the team, fought back, and as much as I'm negative about how we let up 2 in 3 minutes, the team did fight back, and even as much as Elche tried to, waste time and
so much time.
Yeah, get the game over with. We came back. Gavi had a nice run. He connected with Dembele, who had a quick pass, and Gavi was able to, put the cross into the middle of the goal. And then Nico, with wonderful patience. Barca midfielders have not been scoring that goal. I think a common trope we see in the last 2 years is that Barca midfielders don't know how to shoot. Nico, we felt like the defense was going to get on him and take that ball away, and he was able to just calmly and coolly put it into the back of the net. And you just see how excited the team is. And like you're saying, these young players are really they feel like they want to win more than some of these older squad like Alba or Busquets or PK, where we don't see that same desire to win and to prove themselves like these young players have.
I think we should also highlight the fact that we had Memphis taking up that mid space for a long time, and he seemed pretty stagnant, not able to create, not really any opportunities anywhere, not connecting with players very much. And then you have these young guys who come in and take over that front space.
And they're running everywhere.
Yes.
Gavi covered so much space.
For sure. Gavi, Abdi, Nico came in late and was even able to position himself very well for that goal. And then we have Dembele, who you were saying facilitated. And I think the one downfall that we started to have was somehow the ball wasn't getting to Dembele very much. There was less facilitation from him, and that's when our offense started to die.
Gets, if Dembele's not going forward and he's also not getting the ball to make passes, I mean, of course, he is strangled out of the game, and he's too dynamic, and we have too few attackers right now to have that happen.
Exactly.
So that is something I want to see, of course, us to continue to progress, because the thing we're doing better and better at is connecting the midfield to the front three, and that is going to help us, score goals, which we have all been scared about. But my question to you is, how do we come to terms with the fact that the players continue to play poorly defensively under, Koeman or Xavi or other managers? Like, who's responsible here for making sure that our defense takes it up a notch?
Well, I mean, it would have to be Xavi in its essence, because at the end of the day, he's setting up the back line, and if he knows, like Garcia, for example, again, I don't think he should be there starting, especially. That's a Xavi call. But at the same time, having Araujo on the right side is also not good, and he's making that decision. But Araujo is not doing his job properly. So then I want to say that's his fault, right?
It's a mix, right?
Yeah.
All of these questions, I feel like, always come down to it's a little bit of both. Like we said, we don't think the players on the back three were put in spots to have them succeed. At the same time, though, Araujo made that awful pass for the first goal. He wasn't covering on the second goal. Garcia, again, just not positioned well so that his speed is a factor when they're just pushing forward on a counterattack. And then Lenglet, got burned. So I think overall, I mean, there are big negatives, but like you said, we can't be too negative because
our offensive play was great.
We came back.
Yeah,
right?
And
the team showed fight. Jutgla scoring. We had Nico score, Gavi score. I mean, those are the three players we want to see score because we know how important they're going to be coming into the rest of the year in the Europa League eventually. So thank you guys all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. We will see you after the next game.
Thanks, guys.